Now, you're probably in the position where you want to start creating content, but you're actually feeling anxious about being in front of the camera. And I've certainly been there about 7 years ago, or maybe a little bit longer. I went through male pattern baldness and I decided that I was just going to shave it. But with that came a new identity for myself, and it took a while for me to just get used to just looking in the mirror and seeing someone different. And that was just magnified tenfold when it came to being on camera. So what I did, and the first step that I took, was just to rebuild my confidence. And I did this by starting small, by practicing on my mobile phone. And I did this in private. And I didn't post it anywhere. But all I did was just focus on speaking naturally as if I was talking to a friend or even a customer. And we've just done a video that is a 4-week course that allows you to progress naturally. And we've even got another one whereby there is if you've got a deadline, that's tomorrow, we have another PDF that will help you reach that deadline within 24 hours. And we'll put those links in the description. Now, the other way that you can do this is that you can use tools like scripting, or you can even have bullet points. And today I'm using a teleprompter. But what this does is that it helps me stay on track. And then I end up then recording multiple takes just so that I can get comfortable seeing myself on camera. And even if after the 4 weeks, if you've done that course, you still find that you are really struggling, then perhaps consider doing a voiceover. You can film yourself doing some B-roll, doing the job at hand or whatever it is that you want to demonstrate, and you can put yourself into the process, and then you can do a voiceover. And then what you will find is that over time you will just become more comfortable and it will feel much more natural when it comes to being on camera. But maybe anxiety isn't your issue and you just don't know what content to create. So therefore I would start by focusing on the problems that your customers are trying to solve. And I'd like you to think about the questions customers frequently ask you. Now, these can be a great starting point for videos. And you can you can go on things like Answer the Public to find topics that your audience is already searching for. Or you could even look on the YouTube homepage, because at some point you're going to be doing some research and you're going to be looking into your niche. And your homepage will actually show suggested videos, and this will be another great starting point. You could also consider creating perhaps a simple 3-video series. One could be a frequently asked question, one could be to share your expertise, and one with advice on common mistakes that your customers should avoid. Now, this will help ensure that your content is relevant, it's helpful, and it's engaging for your audience. But what if you actually know what content you want to create? You just can't find the time to actually produce these videos. So therefore, what I would do is start by thinking about streamlining your process. And there's 1 or 2 ways that I do this. I either record a video for YouTube once a week, and then with that content, I split it to the multiple platforms. Or I start by batch recording the content and I dedicate a day to filming multiple short videos. So then you have a week's worth of content ready to go. Well, it might be 1 week, it might be multiple weeks. That depends on what you put into it. But the whole point with this is to try and plan ahead, and you can do this with perhaps a content calendar so that you'll know what you're going to record and when. Now, I do have a general guide of what I want to record, but that is subject to change, and that is just down to what clients are just talking about at that time. So I will lean into that as well. But what I would suggest is that you try and break your process into manageable steps. So for instance, I will script one day, I will film the next, and then I'll edit the day later. And by being strategic with your content, you'll create consistent content that is not actually going to feel overwhelming. But what if your actual issue isn't time? What if it is a lack of technical skills and you are feeling perhaps overwhelmed by the editing and just the use of the equipment? I would therefore go back to making it simple. I would go back to using a mobile phone, and I would use a wireless lavalier. I perhaps might even use an extra light just in case, but I will go back to making it simple. This video tonight is taking me about half hour because I'm keeping it simple. And when it comes to editing, there are free tools like Canva or CapCut, and this can make editing straightforward, even for beginners. But even after all that, if you've tried it and you think that editing still feels daunting, then perhaps consider outsourcing to a freelancer or to a media production company so that you can actually help focus on your business. Content doesn't have to be perfect. I would rather you post an authentic video. Perfect content is no good if it never gets made. So start by being authentic and just keep it simple. But what if your fear isn't about the process? It is more that you feel that your videos won't look professional enough. Now, I would like you to remember that authenticity is much more important than perfection. And we are looking to connect with real people today, so I wouldn't worry about every word or every camera angle being flawless. I'd like you to show your personality and the passion for what it is that you do. This is what's going to make your content unique. And as you create more content, your skills will naturally improve and you will find your style over time. Now, creating content doesn't have to be overwhelming. Whether you are struggling with anxiety, a lack of clarity, time, skills, or even confidence, there's going to be a simple solution for every challenge. And I'd like you to start small, to focus on solving customer problems and to perhaps streamline your process. Be authentic and just remember your audience isn't expecting you to be perfect. They just want value. And if you tackle this, one barrier at a time, soon you'll be creating content that actually connects with your customers and grows your business. And if this is resonating with you, then I'd love you for perhaps to follow me for more tips and to give me a like and drop down in the comments which one of these has really resonated with you and what are you experiencing when it comes to creating content. And that is it for today. Cheers.